Alright, well, I had that running for a little bit. It's just kind of hot here in the shop, even though it's only 70 something else. I said it was supposed to get up to 96 today, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's just too freaking cool right now. And then yesterday it was about 96, 97. She was hot. We've had like 4 days of hot and 4 days of like 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It was nuts. And they don't want you like burning trash or anything like that because it's so freaking dry out. It's unfreaking believable. But they're talking storms tomorrow. But we'll see. I just have to show this because this is kind of, I mean, it's not funny, but it's just, it shows, you know, well, how much of a yard can look different from spraying. So now I'm not going to be able to spray for dandelions this year because, for one, I don't have Big Red. I need him the most in order to run my sprayer properly, and I'm pretty much out of chemical. So that stuff, I can order that stuff online, but it's going to cost me more. But so, anyways, I've sprayed my property. I don't know, maybe 2 years now in a row, maybe 3 years in a row, kind of. The last time I sprayed, it was more or less spot spraying, just because I couldn't run the booms. Because it needs to be on a four-wheeler to have that done properly. But look at this guy's yard, the neighbor here. His yard's completely yellow because he doesn't spray for weeds or dandelions. Not that it matters. And maybe some people like to look at the dandelions. I don't know. And you look at my property. I mean, there are a few, of course. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but there's very little dandelions on my property. Now, that's going to change because they're going to seed, and I'm not going to be able to spray them, so I'm not going to spray this year. I think I'm just going to, until I get Big Red up and running and you can stockpile chemicals, I think I'll let it slide for this year. It's not horrible anyway, so a few here and there ain't gonna hurt my feelings none. But anyways, if you guys, well, you haven't seen that video yet, but I did that part 2 of the walk through the woods thing. Not the greatest because I couldn't get I didn't know what the angle was at for the GoPro because I couldn't hook it up to my fucking phone. Now I got it to work. I think it just needed an update, so maybe it'll work fine now. I don't know. Had to do the update at home because you need an internet connection. Couldn't do it out in the field, so I think it's working now. I haven't had a reason to test it yet, but I tested it at home. But I had internet, so it was going to work fine no matter what. But if you guys remember, I showed those two. One was like an oil tank or a fuel tank or something, and then the other one was like two 55-gallon drums stuck together. Well, I salvaged it. The 2 barrels that was stuck together. So the other half is a little bit more shittier than this. This is actually the better half. I cut them in half because I use them for anything from burning to storage. So, but yeah, I couldn't cut. I cut it in half. That's what I did. It took literally 2.5 cutting discs to cut that thing in half. But I ended up not cutting because where they put the ring to sandwich the 2 together, you just weren't really cutting through it because it was. I mean, you could, but to try to stay on that, I was just wandering all over the place. So I gave up on it, and I just decided to cut next to the ring. So the ring is actually on the other barrel right now. This is actually the better half. The other one has a hole at the bottom, and it's got a pinhole up here somewhere. So it's not going to matter for what I'm going to use it for. It ain't going to matter, but this is actually the better one. So I'm going to save that for last. But yeah, so I guess that'll last for a while. Should get a couple of years, I think, out of that one. I don't know. It's like I said, it's got a hole in it, but it ain't gonna really matter. So, but whatever. That'll buy us some time, I guess. And then the other one, I gotta throw it away because it's all wore out. But anyways, the point of this video is we got the new tube for the tractor tire. Not sure how far we'll get with it today, but we will. So this is the tube. This comes from Steiner. Here's your part number if you want it. If you're looking for a tube for that size of tire, there it is right there. So yeah. So yeah, it was going to be cheaper just to get a new tube for now, instead of trying to patch the old tube and then patch the tire, which I never did patch the tire because couldn't get it off the frickin' rim. So I guess I just haven't really mastered how to do that, you know, get it off the rim. You watch videos online and it looks super easy, but yet when I do it, I can never get it done, so I just kind of gave up on it. It's like this tube has been sitting for 50,000 years. It's all dusty, and yet it's been sitting in a package. I mean, that tube is not as dusty, and that's been in the tire, so. But we will inflate this. We'll put some air in it first to test it, because knowing them, and some rubber bands if anybody needs one. So we will. Whatever the hell they got going on here. I'm not sure what the ribs are for. It's interesting because that tube doesn't have it. Oh, this is kind of nice though. I like this. So they basically put in the size of tire it'll fit. So I'm dealing with a 415, but it'll do 400, 500, and the 550 15 tire. So it's kind of like a one size fits all kind of thing. There's no, I don't think there's a date on here, which doesn't, I mean, I guess doesn't really matter. But the tire size thing is kind of nice. So at least, you know, if you ever forget and you destroy another tube, you know, then you know kind of know what to do. So this makes it easier, I guess, in the long run. So what we're going to do is we're going to put air in this, and then make sure it holds air. And then I'll probably try to put it in the tire. I'll probably do it off camera because it's going to fight. I know that for a fact. So I won't have much air, but just a little bit of a test. Well, it's inflating at least. It's so damn dusty, I don't know why. I want to make sure I have at least 40 in the tank so I can inflate it when it's. So I'm going to run my finger around this, or my hand, Feel for any air leaks, which there shouldn't be, but you never know. So the inside feels good. Guess my hands are gonna get all stinking dirty because the tube is dirty. Yeah, I'm not feeling anything. I'm just not feeling any wind coming out. Which is a good thing. If you're probably supposed to use soapy water, that's probably the best thing, but it's not deflating like it would, so there's not much in here to begin with. But so now we got to dump the air back out, which will be interesting to do because I don't have. What's I got? I don't want to use my knife because I might risk cutting it. So, come on. Well, that's slower than shit. But it's working. I guess if you push on it, it kind of helps it. So it's going to be fun to put this back in the tire. Because you got to do it kind of just right too, so it doesn't have any issues. Yes, I know they make a tool that you can remove the core in the valve stem. I think I have one, but I'm not going to go get it just for this. It's not worth it. So, there's a lot of air left in here. But, I don't know. I don't think it's flat enough. I guess we'll find out. So, there's still some air in it. Just I don't have the thing out of the center, so. But even with the thing in there, it should dump a lot quicker than this, but. It's a little flatter. Maybe we can not work with that. I don't know. Heavy duty. Yeah, right. I don't know. Yeah, it should be fine, I think. We'll try it anyway. I don't know. I don't think there's any air. Much air left in here anyway, so. Now the fun part's gonna be to try to get it back in the tire. I'll put the cap back on so we don't mess up my threads. So that's what we'll do now. I'm probably gonna do it off camera because I know it's gonna take a while. Because, yeah, they come out easy, but they go back in hard. So, that's what we'll do for the next hour, I guess. Is trying to put it back in. Of course, you gotta... This is going to be fun to do. So, yeah. So, I guess let me do that, and then I will get back to you guys whenever... I guess just kind of whenever. So... Yeah. See you guys in a little bit then. Well, I think it's probably been only fucking 15 years, but this is why I'm not a mechanic. So, yeah, this didn't turn out worth a shit either. Not sure what the hell happened here, but we Right where the light is the brightest, we popped the freaking tube again. This is a brand new tube, by the way. I don't know what the hell caught it, but it fucking ripped it. And it was a bitch going in there too. It was a bitch going in there, and then a lot of back and forth trying to figure out, because the tire has to be sitting on the rim just right in order you can't push the tube in. So, and then so then I got it all in there. I was happy with it. Okay, let's mount the tire. Let's put the tire back on the rim. So, sliding tire back over. You get to the last like 4 inches. All of a sudden the tire is really tight. You can't stretch it any more than that. Well, then I forgot if you put a little bit of Dawn dish soap and then your body weight on it, it kind of stretches it out a little bit more. So I got it on, put air in it. It was inflating it. It was putting it back on the bead and all that good stuff. And then I noticed air coming out of where the valve stem would stick out of. I was like, well, first of all, there was a lot of cussing involved, because I thought maybe, it got cut here or something. But on this, well, I guess on this tube, it's this one here, but I thought maybe I had cut it, And then, so took the tire back apart, pulled out just enough of this tube, just so I could put soapy water, super soapy water on it. There was nothing coming out of it. I couldn't figure it out. It's like, well, it's got to be on the tube then. Sure enough, it took a chunk out of it. So I think at the end of I don't know when. I want to go talk to the other guy at the gas station, see if he can patch tubes. Because I'm not even going to try to patch it either. I'm done fucking around. I'm tired of trying to be a mechanic here. It's just obviously doesn't work out all that well for me. But a lot of cussing and swearing, and it was slowly going on, and it's like, we're getting somewhere. But nope, I had to get ruined by a little cut there. I don't know what. Could have been the rim. Could have been my tools, but my tools have rounded edges, so that really shouldn't have been a problem. So, like, these are the tools that I'm using, right? And they kind of have, fairly rounded edges, because this one's not as rounded off. But it's not sharp. Like, it really shouldn't have. I don't understand it. So it had to been the rim. The rim must have caught it when I was inflating it, and then there must be something in that rim that I don't know. But then it should have destroyed the other one too. Like when it was fully inflated, it should have stabbed through it. So this had to been done during inflating it. And I even did a test. You guys seen it on camera. I'm pretty sure I got it on video. I tested this first to make sure that it didn't have any damage or anything like that. Because who knows? It could have been, could have been damaged, right? But no. So I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to talk to the other guy. Just fuck it. Take this one in. See if he can put a patch on that, and then put it in the tire. He can mount all that. I just don't have the patience anymore for this. I got to get this tractor back up and running. I should be getting shit done, not fucking around trying to repair shit all the time. So, I don't know how else you'd get that fucking tube on there, because you can't really get it on there with the tire on. I wouldn't think, you would have to dismount all that. But then how would you put it back on the rim? If you took the tire off the rim, how would you put it all back together? It's like, I don't know how the hell they do it at the gas station, because obviously I don't watch them do it. So this is just frustrating. So, yeah, pretty much an epic fail, but I'll just have to pay the fucking $100 or whatever, I guess, because I don't know if they're going to be able to fix this tube or not. Or they have to just get me another new one, which they probably do have in stock anyway, but it's just, I'm trying to do the stuff myself to save some fucking money, but it's just costing me more money at this point. So, fuck it. I guess I'll just start paying people to do my work then, because I'm tired of it. It's irritating, so I don't really have words anymore. I'm getting all beat up, hot, sweaty. I don't have the greatest tools in the world to be doing this, so yeah, absolutely just fuck it. So I don't know. So to see what happens, I guess. But this one would probably be easier to patch, because it's it's a smaller cut compared to the other tube where it's got 3 cuts in it. So I don't know. I'm just not winning. I'm just breaking more shit than it's ever worth to do myself. So I don't know, or I just have horrible bad luck, I guess. Yeah, you learn from your experience, from your fuck-ups and stuff, but these are expensive fuck-ups, and I really can't afford to have any, because I don't get anywhere. Nothing gets completed, because I'm constantly dicking around. So, I don't know. I don't know, bad luck, I guess, on my end, so I guess it'll just kind of be whenever. I guess the tractor will sit for this month until payday or something and run over there and then see if they can do something with it, I guess. Because I'm done. I'm too wore out and too irritated, and I don't have the right tools. I don't even know if those tools are all that good to even be using, I know some people say that's how they change tires. That's how they did it back in the old days. Yeah, they had a fucking year. I was like, well, they've had 30 years of experience. I've had 0, so. But I don't know. Things are going okay. I mean, it was a nightmare. It was a fight to even feed it on there, or to feed it inside the tire, and then to get it, because you had to get it. It has to be inside the tire. It really can't even be on the rim. It's got to be inside the tire, because when you go to put it back kind of like on the rim, you have to be inside like the lip of the tire. You got to peel all that back over, kind of. So obviously you don't want your tube sticking out of it, because then you're going to cut the tube. And I got a feeling that's what happened. And who knows, I could have done that when I was putting it in too. So, but it just fucking pisses me off. So, just not getting anywhere. So that's just how that's fucking turning out to be. So, I don't know. So, just don't know what else to do anymore. Kind of getting irritated and getting tired of looking at it, and tired of getting dirty and sweaty, and I get nothing out of it. So, it's just some things I'm not meant to fix, but I don't know. I guess it's better just to replace shit after so many years and just take a fucking hell of it. So, but I still have to try to fix, the 1586. That's going to be a nightmare. I know that. And I won't get any help from the young guy because he's too busy doing his own shit. So, until I get stuff fixed back up again, I don't know. This is just getting to be irritating for me. So, I should be out knocking cow pies down, and I should have been working up the trail a little bit, trying to see if I could save it, but pretty much no sense now. So, I don't know. And then you have to take the center of the thing out, and your valve stem. You gotta take the center out, because as you're feeding it into the tire, you're squishing it, and then you're trapping air, so then it builds up air pressure, and then it's harder to get in the rim, so you gotta take all that out. So, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. So, I think we'll just say fuck it, and I'll just have them do it. If they can patch that tube, well then they can patch it and put it back on, and I'll pay the freaking $100, I guess, whatever, because then the tube's probably going to be $30 if they have to get a new one, and then their labor and time to do it, which is probably another $60 probably. So knowing them. And this was all just to try to save me some money and, you know, maybe pick up a few skills along the way, but skills are costing me money. You know, especially on something that I need. So, like, I don't know. Like, I mean, if I was to do it on this tire, this junk tire, that tire I was going to take off and put on the other. I'm not sure where it leaks. I haven't really tested it yet, but I was going to put that on that Glencoe Colorado because I think it's almost the same size tire. So I was going to put that on there. I was like, well, I don't think it needs a tube in it. So, you know, would have been something nice to get to kind of learn off of. But here I'm doing it on something that I actually need, and now it's going to be down for the rest of the month until freaking payday. So, just what do you do? It's the most irritating thing ever. So I don't know. I just don't know what the hell's. I don't know. Now, if I had the patch kit, yeah, I could have patched that, but I got a feeling I would just keep stabbing it because I'm not getting anywhere. It's just like I don't know what the hell's going on in that damn rim, you know, or you know, I don't know, you know. It's not easy to do that, and my thumb kind of freaking hurts now from that because you're trying to pull everything apart just so you can fish the freaking tube into place. So, but then once I got the tube inside the tire, I was like, oh, finally, we're gonna get somewhere now. So I was getting all excited because all I had to do now was put the tire basically back on the rim. And well, the first time it was fighting me pretty hard, but that's because I was an idiot and forgot the soap. So, because the soapy water, I took it back to the house now, but that soapy water thing actually helps a little bit. And then I put my body weight on it too to stretch the tire out a little bit more. Okay. It was going on like butter. It's like, okay, well, all I gotta do is shove fucking air in it. And then they say to seat the tire, or put the bead back on it, all you would have to do is basically overinflate the tube to whatever. I don't know what the max rating is of those tubes, but they said that you just put in whatever until you see the tire pop back on the rim. Okay, I was doing that. It popped back on the rim. It was doing its thing. And then I shut my air compressor down. I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, okay, that's great. That's lovely. That's lovely. I figured, like, at first I thought it was the valve stem. I figured, well, maybe I caught it or something, you know, when I was pushing it all in, and maybe it sliced it. But that's actually kind of hard to slice. Because this feels like it's all like double layered, so it's a little thicker. And this is super hard. But I don't know. I have the slightest freaking clue, you know. Like I don't know. So I took it all back apart again. Thought it was coming out of here, so I took it out, you know, the best I could. Put air back in it. And then put the soapy water on it. Nothing. It's like, okay, well, that's not the area then. It's somewhere along here. Sure enough, right there. So somewhere along the way, it either got cut when I was trying to force it all back together or inflating it and something caught it. I don't know. I don't know. Because I've never taken the rim or the tire off the rim, but then if there was a piece of metal or something in the tire or in the rim, it should have sliced the shit out of the old tube long ago. It should have just sliced the crap out of it. So I don't know. It pisses me off. I was getting excited. Like I said, I was getting excited because we're finally getting fucking done after 2.5 hours of dicking around. So, I don't know. When it just comes to old junk, it's hard to work on it. And they always say, well, those Farm LAs, like they're the easiest tractors to learn to repair shit on. Like if you break something, it's easy to fix. Yeah, but you even for those old fucking things, you need the proper tools. You need a proper workshop. Like we don't have any of that shit. That's why even when the great-grandparents, I think, farmed all these years, they never did any of their own tire repairs. They just took it to somebody. Probably just too much damn trouble. You just weren't getting nothing done at that rate. So, but yeah, I guess sitting here ranting and bitching and complaining about it isn't going to fix it. So I guess that's going to be the end of that. We'll just, I guess, take it in sometime. And then see what they can do with it. So, but other than that, that's kind of it. Not much more I can do. So I'm just gonna go home now and go back to the house and call it a day. I'm not even gonna think about that anymore until payday. So we tried at least, but it's just an epic fail. So now at least I have 2 tubes that I can, I guess replace or repair, whatever. And then happens again, well then we can just easily swap out tubes, But that's another $1 million question: is how long are these patches going to hold out? Especially if I do it, right? If he does it, it'll last a lifetime. But for me to do it, a couple of weeks, and then it's, it'll fuck up. And this is a different tube too, because this actually has ribs in it right here, whereas the other one doesn't. It's smooth all the way around. It's like here it's all smooth, and then all of a sudden you got ribs, and that's kind of a bad place to have a tear too, right in this little ribby area. I'm not sure what the fuck they were thinking there when they did that, but whatever. So, I don't know, it sucks. So, but if he can fix it, then he can fix it and put it back on the tire and call it day done. And then sometime maybe I'll have him fix this. If I don't feel like fixing it, then I'll have him fix the old tube, and then we'll just keep it as a spare. So, but even though I don't think I'll be doing this anymore because it's just too much hectic. So, just too much crap. So, but yeah, anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. So I guess I have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.